Telly Talk now on BBC One.
To It's Only TV, but I like it, and I must warn you that this show, like Julian's act, may well contain nuts. With Phil this week is actress Patsy Palmer. After leaving EastEnders, Patsy starred in Les Miserables, which, for those who don't know, is French for EastEnders. Also, with Phil this week is the legendary Mr. Stuart Hall, ladies and gentlemen. Stuart, of course, presented It's a Knockout. He described the first few programmes as horrendous, but sadly, the series never quite reached those heights again. Princess Anne refused to appear on It's a Royal Knockout because she said it was too demeaning. Plus, it clashed with her stint as captain of the Red Team on Cheggers Plays Pop. With Julian this week, the comedy duo that is Cannon and Ball, ladies and gentlemen.
Can't do it.
I think we all remember Cannon and Ball's film, The Boys in Blue, and it's actually just been released on DVD. I bought a copy. It's the first DVD where the special options include less scenes.
Oh, wait a minute. Stop that.
Bobby's famous for his comedy braces, but he says he mainly wears them to keep his trousers up. In fact, sitting next to Julian tonight, he's wearing 15 pairs. And a padlock and a chastity belt.
He's not noticed.
We haven't even had eye contact.
Not yet. In fact, look at it. It looks like a doily. Looks beautiful. Carry on.
And completing the lineup is comedian and star of Hot Potatoes, Gina Yashuay. Gina's ambition is to become a skydiver. Strangely, that's Phil's ambition, only Billy Smart won't lend him the big top. Ladies and gentlemen, these are our teams. OK, our first round is TV trivia, where the teams are given 3 clues to a famous TV moment. So, what links these clips?
Hot pants. Huh. Oh, that's where it's at. That's where it's at.
The ostrich can't fly, but it can run at 50 miles an hour, and ostrich races have become a tourist attraction.
Believe me, it's not as easy as it looks.
So that's Very Hot Pants, Michael Burke and Cornwall. Phil, I want you to go first.
What was the speed it said that the ostrich could get to?
50 miles an hour.
50 miles an hour. Presumably, if Michael Burke's chasing it, about 70 or 80. You can see Michael when he gets home to Mrs. Burke. Darling, I was racing them. Honestly.
I wonder they can't look, though, the two birds in the background. Look, they look like we can't look.
Obviously, they can't look. Their mate's being stuffed.
I don't know much about Michael Burke. Cornwall. I used to go to Cornwall and do surfing.
Did you?
Really?
Oh,
Yes.
surfing, no? Right.
Wait till there's a big swell.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Then you ride the tube.
Oh,
And of an evening, I used to sit on the cliff top, hoping not to get blown off.
He was down there for the eclipse, wasn't he, a couple of years ago?
Yes.
Michael Burke was at St Michael's Mount.
Yeah, you watch a lot of TV, I can tell.
Right, I watched it because there was no bloody eclipse, was there? It was just cloudy. That's it. It's up there behind the clouds, and it is brilliant.
Right, OK, I'll take you on to them. We'll see if you want a minute. Guys, do you want to have a crack at it?
Yes, we'd love to have a crack.
Yeah, we would,
at it,
actually, yeah.
please. Wait till I speak first.
It's like that excitement of having Cannon and Ball on the show. First, I'm excited. Yeah, second, I'm just delighted you're still alive.
beautiful, beautiful head of hair. But,
You've chosen this evening to come out, haven't you, Bobby?
I'm just being friendly. Hey, don't start thinking I'm like that. I'm not being funny, but I'm not.
I think the gay world can live with the fact that you're not. Stuart, I wish you were on my team. I used to love it to knock out all that mud and everything.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Did you ever slide into a German?
Absolutely. I wish you'd been there with me. We could have had a lot of fun.
You must have some great memories of Knockout, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely. It was wonderful.
Yeah, don't share them with us now. I'm just kidding.
But no, I'm thrilled to have you. I'm thrilled to be working with you, and I'm thrilled to be working with you. She used to be a lift engineer, everybody.
Yes.
And I once tried to get more than 8 people up my service shaft. Unfortunately...
Did they need rescuing?
Well, I passed out.
Anyway, can I tell you what it is or not?
Well, if you know.
The Hot Pants came out the same year as the last eclipse.
It's like having Quincy on the show. You know what I like about that? Some thought's gone into that, some work's gone into that. It's comprehensive, it's thorough, it's completely wrong. Let's see what the answer is.
Francisco, thank you so much for joining us today. I know it would have been better for you to be somewhere where it wasn't cloudy.
No, it's all right.
It's been great here on the beach. I don't know if we've got time to go to Radio 1 to see how they're going, or if we're going straight back to Michael. You'll soon see.
I hope you noticed they were rubbing each other down there. Poor old Francisco came in his shorts and everything this morning, being totally optimistic.
It was the moment during the coverage of the eclipse in Cornwall that Michael Burke started stealing Julian's act. Of course, it was later discovered it wasn't a proper eclipse, it was just Phil on a trampoline in Penzance. Mike was leaving the BBC this year and the race is on to find his successor. I auditioned, although unfortunately the big story that day was the rubber raft rescue in Rwanda. So. Here's another tantalising trio of clues. See what you make of these.
Let me just introduce you to the final judge here this afternoon, old mate of mine, Mike Parkinson. Do you find this a particularly onerous task?
Yeah, it's a desperately difficult job, isn't it, to do? And it's very boring looking at all these beautiful birds. Not good, for God's sake. They pay you as well? It's awful, isn't it?
Sir Jocelyn's father lived in the house with his sisters and then alone, until he died last year, making Sir Jocelyn the 9th baronet.
Are there any privileges or responsibilities specifically of being a hereditary baronet?
I'm pleased to say none whatsoever. Nothing at all.
But you still use the title and welcome having the title?
Yes, I suppose I do. It's always rather nice when people address you as Sir Jocelyn.
So that's a giant bull, Parky, and the poshest person on the planet.
If you look at him now, he looks like a Swan Vesta match.
I've been called that before. Yeah.
Because of your natural gingerness?
Yeah. In the nude, Swan Vesta.
We've never seen an aristocrat in Oldham, for a start. We've never no idea what an aristocrat looks like.
In Oldham, what do they look like?
You all speak and talk like that, frightfully sort of.
Yes, I do.
Like
yes.
me.
Very floppy.
I speak like that.
Do you really?
Yes, this is just an act.
Sorry.
You know what, right now I'm thinking, please, please, never put me in a home with guys like this.
Michael Parkinson, beauty contest I don't know much about, although I did once try to enter Mr. Universe.
Yeah, I asked who came first.
I thought that the school kids were holding the bloke on the right's liver. And look at this, they're actually pushing a fat boy to PE.
You got Posh, you got football. Posh and Becks. Posh and Beck, they were on Parkinson.
Yeah, they were.
Posh, and she called her husband Golden Balls, and that's the answer.
Correct.
That's what you think the answer is? Yeah. OK, I'm going to give you a chance to wade in. If you think it's different, that might not be right.
It is.
Obviously, Parkinson with Posh and Beck.
Yeah. You're saying that now, because they said
We've said that.
Well, no, but then it's obvious.
I reckon so.
OK, let's see if you're right.
Do you feel that David is perhaps has a better public persona, image than you have?
David is, I call him Golden Balls, you know, now, because I mean, you know, because now, you know, that's one of those things I shouldn't have said, but...
It was indeed the moment Posh Spice revealed to Parkinson her pet name for Bex was Golden Balls. Parky says he started to forget who his guests were during the show. That'll explain why he asked Posh Spice to sing. Let's have another point. I'm going to give you guys 1 point for getting the eclipse part of the question right, but not the whole thing. And you nailed the Parkinson completely, so you're going to get 3 points, so it's 1-3. we get on with the next round, Stuart, we saw Michael Burke in action there with an ostrich.
Yes.
And I was wondering whether or not you remember this classic moment where you came face to face with some knockout penguins.
The stealthy arrival of the French. Here's Doug again. There's Dougie. Quick.
What a great moment. Oh. You know, I remember a knockout was a huge show. What kind of audiences did you used to get?
Oh, we pulled an audience once of 20 million. It was huge.
I remember we wouldn't miss it. Every weekend it was on, my whole family, we'd gather right round the set, desperately trying to find the volume button.
You little bitch.
Our next round, based on those fantastic public information films from yesteryear, those of us old enough to have seen them will never forget Tufty the Squirrel, the Green Cross Cold Man, and Jimmy Savile's Clunk Click campaign. That was the one where viewers were told how to securely bolt the door when you saw Jimmy Savile coming up the park. We're now going to show the teams a clip of Charlie Says, in which Charlie the cat gives some good advice, and they have to work out what advice he's just about to offer.
Charlie and I were out the back when Vera and Dave came by and said, "Come along for a picnic." And I was going, but Charlie said... He said...
Julian, you can go first.
Can we see that shot of Charlie at the beginning, please? It's not nice for children.
Probably not very nice for the cat either, is it?
Well, he's had the operation and he's showing the lovely children where the scar tissue is.
And look at the smile on that little boy's face.
No. Right, let's see the next bit with the kids in it. I mean, what the cat should say is never go with anybody wearing glasses and a tank top.
There's Harry Potter on the right, isn't it?
I think it might be a young Louis Theroux doing his first.
Nice handbag.
How's he carrying the bag like that as he broke his arm?
I don't think Walt Disney had anything to worry about.
Charlie is saying...
Yes.
You're not going to a picnic. You're going to the Colosseum to see Liverpool play Manchester United. And Charlie said... A cool, icy wind blew off the Irish Sea. The snowflakes fluttered like a gauze through the floodlights at the Colosseum. Liverpool generated a hot rhythm, and there was Emil Heskey, his anaconda eyes glistening in the rain, stumbling like a dyspeptic dinosaur and smote a ferocious shot. And Charlie said, then, after the goal, let's slip the dogs of war.
You see, Phil, that backs up what I was saying earlier about if you don't get the level of Prozac exactly right. What do you think?
Yeah, don't go off and have a picnic with your friends without telling your mother where you're going.
You're going to be castrated.
OK, so you think he's warning them about being castrated, don't let them take you to the vet?
Absolutely.
Let's see if any of you are right.
He says I better tell Mum where I'm going. So we told him to wait while we went and asked. But Mum was talking to the milkman, and she talked such a long time that when I had asked her and she said yes, the others had gone. Charlie says always tell your mummy before you go off somewhere so she knows who you are with.
Yeah, so you can go and she can have it off with the milkman.
Well, I think we all know what kind of upbringing Patsy had. I think you were right. I think that's a very good answer. Spot on there. I'm going to give you a chance now. Here's some advice that Charlie was dispensing for your team to work out, Phil.
Charlie says...
Why have you dressed me as Osama bin Laden?
Very good.
No, he said, I think I was at a lap dancing club and saw some pussy on the table. Table dancing.
You know what? When you do that, that's a bloody good impersonation.
That's very good. Isn't it?
You've got the movement. And
How I imagine men probably are when they go to them table dancing clubs.
Actually, do I sense you don't approve of the noble art of the lap dancing?
No, I love it. I love it. I actually do it. Yeah.
You wouldn't if I did it. If I had a lap dancing club. Imagine the shattered pelvises.
Imagine the size of the poles. Anyway, what was Charlie the cute cat saying so that our children could grow up strong and safe?
Be careful. Just be careful.
Just a generic be careful.
Don't horse around near hot food.
OK. What do you think, Stuart?
That's it.
That's it?
Yes.
Blimey, that's quick for you.
That's it.
Would you like to have a stab at this, or...?
Well, it's hardly going to be very different. It's not going to be going into cars with strangers, is it?
Well, I'm sure he covered that.
It's fairly self-explanatory. Don't play games in inappropriate places, children, please.
All right, here you go. Let's see what the answer actually is.
Charlie says he knows now that it's dangerous to pour the tablecloth because the hot water from the teapot hurts him very much.
He's not even a real cat! Although, Charlie later died, ironically, during the filming of Charlie Says Don't Go to Sleep in the Wheel Arch of Dad's Car. And you know what? I'm going to give you both 3 points for that last one because you got it right, but I think you got it right as well. So the scores at the end of that round are 4 points to Phil's team, but in the lead with 6 points, it's Julian. Round 3 is channel hopping, where our guests have 90 seconds to act out clues to 5 TV themes for our team captains. Patsy and Stuart, I'd like you to go around the back first, if that's OK. Go ahead on round there. And I'm going to give Phil his comedy headphones for the week. These are amusing earmuffs for you.
Oh!
This week you are Captain Pugwash.
Nice.
And there's your remote control.
Yeah.
And if you're ready back there, let the channel hopping commence.
Trees. Wood. Oh, wood. Oh, no. Robin of Share Wood.
Yes! That's a good clue. That's a good clue.
Cut, scissors, cut. Oh. Cutting it.
Yes! Look at that acting.
Wow. Yeah. Dialing. Dial M. Dial.
Emily.
Dial M.
For. Show him.
For murder. Dial
yeah. Blimey. Look at that.
Oh, Princess Anne. Flower. Rose Anne.
Rose Anne. Good work.
The streets are wider than these narrow streets I know. Still you'll find here ties that
Ally McBeal.
That was a good guess.
Doctors. The doctors. Ribs. Bones. Skeletons.
Well done. Give me that. You did well. You got 4 out of 5. Patsy, good work. OK, Julian, it's your turn. Your teammates have gone round the back already. Here are your amusing earmuffs.
Oh.
Look at that.
Which is the front?
You are going to be Cutthroat Jake. Can't believe you've got on a pirate's eye patch, a pirate's beard, and you still look camp. Here you go, your teammates are there. There's your remote control. Let the channel hopping commence.
School days, teaching...
Sort of.
Sorry.
No, move on. Quick.
Extra! Read all about it!
Go on, throw a Tommy in there for us.
Extra! Rock on, Tommy!
Is it News Round?
Extra, read all
News Round Extra.
News Round Extra, well done.
Rescue me.
Diving, dive,
Take me in
swim,
your arms, rescue
drown.
me. I want you tender, 'cause I'm lonely and
Rescue. Yeah, rescue me.
Yes, rescue me. Well done, that's it.
Will.
Yeah.
William. Just William.
Yes. I'm proud of it.
Sound, fight the shares, sound, fight!
Not great work, but good work. You've got 3. Give us the remote back. Well done, Gina. Well done, Tommy and Bobby. You got 3.
Can I say this, John? I was very upset on the last sketch.
Why?
Because up north we've got gas now.
That's true. Doesn't he look like? Have a close up of Bobby, can we? Yeah. He looks like Paul Newman. Have a look at this. All right, Paul Newman passed his best, but still, look. I'm suddenly craving pasta sauce. It's like he's here with us, only slightly shrunk.
I told you about my size. Don't stop. I hate being small.
Shut up. There's nothing you do about it now. You're almost dead.
Shut up! Don't clap what he's doing, taking the mickey under my
nice to you.
I hate being small.
Shut up, man. What's the matter with you? I used to be that small once. When I was 6.
Let's have a look at the points of that man. You did very well indeed. So you've now got 8 points, but because you were in the lead earlier, you're still in the lead with 9 points. Congratulations. Everybody knows that Granny knows best, except when they're writing in to us what's gone wrong with that nice radio too. If you want to guess which TV personality or programme our old folk are describing, look away from your screens now. And the teams, I'm going to ask you, what or who do you think they're talking about?
Well, she's small, really small, Tabby, and she wears short skirts up you know, up at the backside sort of thing, you know, very short.
She's in her early 30s, but she doesn't impress you with her looks, you know.
She's broad, you know, always showing a lot of boobs sort of thing, you know, always, she likes doing that sort of thing, you know, she does all that.
I don't know.
Small and tubby, doesn't impress with the looks. Jordan?
I've got a firm Britain which doesn't wear short skirts. Well, no, we'll be wrong, because there's no knowing what they're talking about.
Well, that's a negative attitude to have.
Firm Britain.
You're going with firm Britain? You are wrong. What do you think?
My Auntie Sue.
She's a cracker, your Auntie Sue.
Jonty, I think the clues are behind Tom.
Did you just call me Jonty?
Yeah. I don't want to get up his nose, I call him Jonty. He hates it, especially with the violet suit. That's revolting. But...
All right, I'll buy 1 ice cream, then...
Behind Tom, you can see little photographs of the royal family. He's obviously a royalist.
Yes, good
so
thinking.
he probably has got an antipathy towards Sarah Ferguson.
But you can't go on the visual clues of Tom, because also he's got the mutton chops and the moustache. Does he put on a stovepipe hat, walk the streets where he lives, going, boy for sale?
Also, just because Margaret's got what looks to be a spittoon behind her doesn't mean she's talking about Billy the Kid.
The only kind of breasty short is Babs.
You going with Babs?
Maybe sometimes when they do her up in EastEnders, she looks a bit dowdy.
No, you're both wrong. Oh. OK, so fingers on the buzzers. I'll give you some more clues now, and buzz in if you think you know what the answer is. If you are right, you'll have the points that are on the screen at the moment you buzz in. Here we go.
Well, I've only ever seen her in black, you know, because she suits black. It suits her as black, really. A bit of jewellery on here and there. I've never seen her in anything else, love, now. Whether she does put other things on, I don't know. But I've only ever seen in this. It's just the contestants I feel sorry for, because she never gives them ruby wax.
It is ruby wax. Oh, fantastic. 4 points to you. Nice work. Well done. OK, before we go on with it, let's see what else they had to say.
She is attractive, there's no two ways about that. But believe you me, does she love the camera? She loves the camera better than the person that she's supposed to be questioning and whatever. She'll be questioning the person, but this way is looking like this, and yes, and yes, and yes. It's the camera all the time. But she has lovely hair, lovely dark hair and whatever. Lovely flashing eyes, flashing teeth. And she knows. But she gets up my back.
Yeah, it was Ruby Wax. Ruby recently performed at the Queen's Jubilee concert. I'm not saying she died on her arse, but at one stage the Queen had them oiling the hinge on Traitor's Gate. Incidentally, ladies, beauticians now offer what they call a Ruby Wax. That's why they put the adhesive strip over your mouth and leave it there. OK, well, the scores in that round, well, things have all changed. Rather dramatically, because you were in the lead, but now you have 9 points, and you now have 12 points, thanks to your work. Phil, she's a treasure. Hold on to her. She's a keeper. Our final round is a fingers on the buzzers race to the finish to test the teams on all things telly. So, teams, if you are ready, get those fingers on those buzzers. First question, with what did Nick Cotton try and kill his mother, Dot?
He's acting.
Is it a Harold Shipman mask?
Poison.
Poison, it was poison. Well done. Hey! Take a look at your screen. Which two TV faces make up our celebrity freak? Oh.
Ozzy Osbourne and Jeremy Clarkson.
Well done.
Can I say something? I'm not being funny. Mine's not
working.
working.
Of course it Try it now. Look, it's working fine. It's because you're too slow, you're too old, and you're losing your hair.
Hello! Anyway, on with the next round. Get your buzzers now.
My buzzer's not working. Oh, dear. In Thunderbirds, what did Parker call Lady Penelope?
My bitch.
Milady.
He did call her Milady. Who says you're like this, but not a lot?
Jonathan King. Oh.
Jonathan King.
My evening's looking up.
Paul Daniels.
Paul Daniels.
Paul Daniels, you're right, Gina.
Oh, splendid, Sam! That was our point, and there's 4 of them, which I've never been that happy about.
I'm giving it to you. I'm giving it to you. I'm giving it to you. Oh, thank God. And at the end of that show, I see that Phil's team, you have 14 points, and I'm really excited about this, you have 14 as well. It's a draw, ladies and gentlemen. What are the odds on that happening? Fantastic.
Yes, amazing.
Thank you to Cannon and Ball, to Julian and Gina, Patsy, Phil and Stuart. Of course, to play us out now, here's Granny Ada with her impromptu audition for next year's Pop Idol, and she's certainly got my vote. Thanks for watching. Good night.
Jonathan Ross. Jonathan Ross? Who in the world is Jonathan Ross? You soon would know if you got on his show. From morning to night it is go, go, go. Then, of course, there's Jupiter. If you follow the stars, you'd end up on Mars. But the one I love dearly is Julian Cleary. He's witty. He's charming. He's oh so divine. But Jonathan Ross is the boss.